Hi, everyone. This is Janie. We're back for another episode of Girl Get Back Up Again. And I'm going to tell you, if you haven't seen the first 5, you're missing out. The first 6, you're missing out. But today we're going to talk about your brand, your business, profiting, how women have gotten there. So stay tuned. Welcome back. Girl, get up again. And I have some speakers here. We're going to do panel style. We're going to love it. We're going to leave it. We're going to, whatever we don't want, we're going to leave here. But make sure that you listen in and get a friend, get some coffee, because we're going to spill the tea on branding and positioning yourself and profiting for your business. So we have Maritza with us. We have Ruth. Girl, I know your name. And Mirna. And, of course, me, the hostess with the mostest. But I'm really happy to have these ladies here because I am friends with them. I have them on my Facebook page. Mirna, I just met literally today. And we have been Facebook friends. I don't know how long, but we didn't realize, we didn't know each other in person.
There was a connection happening.
Yes, there's a connection. But for me, I shared earlier that I've been in business since I was 17. I've had my own business. I had a tax and bookkeeping company. I have been a Mary Kay car driving sales director. I have an insurance license. I have mortgage, and I'm a real estate broker. So it's all about me. One thing that I learned while I was in Mary Kay is I am my brand. Mm-hmm. My makeup, my everything is me. If I want them to buy makeup from me, girl, you best believe I'm going to be wearing the makeup. And that was one of the things that I learned at a very young age was to be an entrepreneur. And I learned that from my mother. Mm. Yes. Even though I come from the barrio, my mom sold Tupperware, Avon, anything. And even she's 84 years old. And even now she still sells jewelry. She still has different stuff. I had to get into paparazzi with her because she wanted me to buy stuff from her. And I'm like, Mom, I'll just be your consultant and I'll just buy, so it's stuff like that she has taught me. But I'm the brand.
Yeah.
I am the brand. It's not Janie, Hilburn, Mendoza, Next Home, NTX, Lex Living. It's Janie.
Yeah.
So I know that for Maritza, it's Think Maritza. Ruth has different businesses. You have different businesses. And I'm so excited that y'all are going to share with everyone out here because, ladies, even though you're at home, you may feel stuck. You may feel like you can't move forward. These women here, they're boss babes. They're going to show you what you need to do. So pay attention. Get your tea. If you want, get a mimosa. I personally like lemon drop martinis, but hey. So, Ruth, let's start with you.
Okay, well, my name is Ruth, and Ruth Carrera, and we moved to Dallas back in 2017, and we started this business. It's called Providence Performing Arts Center. I grew up at dancing, theater. I always loved the arts, everything that has to do with just using your talent, and that's one thing that I always remembered is growing up. At church, I was like always the one dancing and moving. And
alabando.
Yes, alabando and doing the dance. And it's like, my parents would be like, you can't do that. I'm like,
I can't control it.
We're supposed to praise the Lord. And he's like, you're not praising your Lord. You're using, you just all this, religion, right? But I was like, you know what? And then the Lord gave me, obviously, dancers. All my daughters naturally talented.
Wow.
And we moved here, and I've always loved it. I grew up in it, and just really enjoying just pulling that gift out and just using it, actually a form of worship.
And you have a dance studio.
Yes, Providence Performing Arts Center. It's in Rockwall, Texas. And I took the name, I like what you said about branding yourself. Well, I took the name Providence and turned it into Providence. Mm-hmm. And then it's just like, I just woke up one day and I'm like, Providence. And it's like, oh my gosh, and it's like a covering. Mm-hmm. That's what it means, like covering of God, like Lord's protection over your whole life, everybody that comes through.
Yeah.
So we believe in talent. So we're going to become actually a nonprofit.
Oh,
we're there, so we can be able to scholar those kids that are very talented. You know, I was raising them. There was never, you know, I wanted to go to, when I was here in Dallas, I wanted to go to that school. What is it called? It's in Dallas, but I can't remember right now. But it's, they only, you have to live in Dallas to be able to be part of that. And there's not enough scholarships, you know, for that. But anyway, so that's how I birthed. That's how the passion just started in my heart, and you know, just really build the talent and just use your story and why dance. You know, you have to have a purpose, and that's one thing that I remember is just have a purpose for what you do and branding yourself. So we are in elite training, and just utilize them. You know, we raise them so they can go to college and get all types of scholarships in the dance world.
Oh, that's awesome.
And academic. Yep.
That is awesome.
Yep.
I know that your daughter leads that.
Yes. So
and
y'all
partnered up with
yes,
together.
Actually, what I did was, because eventually, you know, I want to use this as more of like as a, not use it for me as a business, but to, since I am a business developer and I also have another business that I work with, because I want to be able to, I believe in like raising your kids and direct them on where they should go. You know, that's something that's how I was raised, and you know, that's what I believe. And what I did was like, you know, my daughter, I want them to I want to leave a legend, you know, for them to really, and that's what I think as parents, we should always look at the talents of our kids and help them, you know, not just say, here, go fend for yourself. Right. And that's what a lot of us do today, you know. And I just wanted to make it easier for them to really, you know, just train them in the direction they should go and just believe in them and invest in their talent. So we have that today, and it's called Providence Performing Arts Center. And she's going to be the director. I'm actually going to pass it on to her, and I'll be the assistant.
You know what that's called?
What?
Legacy.
Legacy.
Legacy. You're building a legacy for your family.
Yes.
I'm so excited about that. So, Mirna, when you see her page, it says CEO.
Yes.
And I think it's so important to know who you are in business.
Yeah.
Because that's your brand. Yeah. Now when I hear CEO, I see your name, you know, your face, because it's important to know. And you have multiple businesses as well.
Yeah. CEO. So I have a website, myrna.ceo. Email hi@myrna.ceo. And all my hashtags and my credentials for social media is myrna.ceo. And the whole purpose was I needed to introduce myself first. Porque estamos en Texas.
Right.
So Texas is more of a, I need to know you, like personally you.
It's relationships.
Yes.
I don't care what your business is right now. Like, tell me about you. Tell me about your cat. Tell me about your dog. Tell me about your kids. Tell me what you like drinking. Like, I need to feel some type of connection. And so that was important for me. You know, we were talking about the chamber. When I came into the chamber, I was a girl from the streets that was over here walking around these gente that have businesses and whatnot. And they're like looking at me crazy. Like, why do you think you should be here? Right?
They do look at you that way.
It was not that they were being rude. It's just the simple fact that I am who I am, and I didn't know how to talk. I didn't know how to walk and whatnot. So I had to prove to them, or I had to show them what I was able to do, right? And so within 5 years, I'm so proud of what we have created, because like I was stating to Dream here, that we have surpassed what other companies in the same industry that have been in business longer are doing. Wow. And I think that's because we do things very personally, you know, and you're talking about education, and that hits home. So, you know, first of all, was talking about my story, right? I'm a girl from the streets with a traumatic past that made it out of the hood and now became a successful CEO. Well, what makes you so successful, right? Well, I have everything I ever dreamed for. And even more, even things that I didn't even think that I deserved, right? And God stated that, you know, everything that I'm about to give you is not just for you, right? You're supposed to do something with it.
Right.
And so everything moving forward is abundance for me. Like being here is an abundance for me, because I get to talk about a story. I get to meet amazing women, and get ideas even probably that I'll take home and be like, okay, we need to apply this, right? But So once you get to know that version, you're like, oh, like if she did it, then I have no excuse, right? And if they're doing it, then they're on top of their stuff, right? And so people started, getting involved and wanting to be part of our business, maybe not just as a client, maybe as an actual officer or being part of the team.
Right.
And then right under our company, which is National Special Force, and we do unarmed, armed officers, private investigations, we have our Security Texas Academy, where we certify license to carry for the public.
Nice.
And then we certify our officers. The beautiful thing about that is that we concentrate on the next generation. Right. And so we have scholarships for veterans where veterans seem to be having a hard time getting back into society.
Right.
Well, what if you get certified in something that you already know? Right. And we just help you and mentor you so you become the best version of yourself. And that's how you get a 5-star officer, because they're a 5-star officer within the company. But also at home, they become the best version of their, like as a father, as a husband, and we start building them up. And I know it's possible because guess what? I went through it. And guess what? I'm not only a motivational speaker to schools and to different associations, conference, things like that, but I'm a motivational speaker to my team, to my officers. I need them to understand that when they put in they put on the NSF like officer uniform, they're about to like transform. They're about to like walk in. They're going to talk different. They're going to do all the things. We're not regular security.
Right.
There's meaning and purpose behind it. And so when you start building that brand and building that, where now the officers are talking about it, now the clients are talking about it, and they're like, oh, well, NSF is this, that,
Yeah.
right? They're Latina owned, they're minority owned, they're like revolutionizing the industry, right? And that's beautiful, being in a male dominated industry. Y aquí viene esta Latina de las streets. And I'm like, well, ¿sabes qué? Everything. Because I'll have people with this, like they're ex-military, ex-law enforcement. And they're like, oh, what are your credentials? And I'm like, well, I was a girl from the streets. And I did everything that I'm doing right now. And I just turned it in the legal way.
Yes. And I'm
so,
making it work.
You know.
Well, and you know what I'm thinking about that is we as realtors, we take classes to carry.
Right.
License to carry.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, we need to come to you and take your classes.
Yeah, and we'll make it fun too.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So my license has expired, just so you know. I just carry because I'm carrying. I told them I'm packing because I'm a realtor and you never know what's out there.
Yeah.
But I know that now Texas you can carry, but I want to have my license renewed and do all that. And I have a group of other realtors that need to take that class. So we'll be contacting
you know what we'll do is like once they register and they let us know that they're with Girl Get Up Again, we'll do a special discount for all of y'all. How about that?
All right. Yeah, look at that. So Maritza, I know with you it's think Maritza if you need insurance.
If you need anything.
Oh, I didn't know that. So elaborate.
For the past 18 years, I have been in the industry of securing people, basically different type of security.
Right.
Than
That's
what
okay.
you're
We can
doing.
work together, girl.
Yeah. But I make sure that I ensure what matters most to people. You were saying something that is so key. She said people, in other words, she said people do business with people they care, like, and trust. Mm-hmm. And that's basically what I do. I'm always focusing on making sure that people understand the foundation of where they're standing, because this is not just carry insurance on your car because you have to have it by law. This is not just let me insure my house because the mortgage says that I have to. This is about making sure that you're securing, you're placing that security blanket over what actually enables you to continue going. Because you need a car to be able to get from A to B. Mind you, you get into an accident, and this accident is something that happen to be where you're negligent, this person's injured. People sue for anything these days. And if you don't have the right coverage in place, then what do you have? So I make sure that I differentiate myself in what I'm actually doing for you versus what I'm selling to you.
Right.
And, I'd say a little bit of everything, because anything you need, I can make happen, in the sense that if it's home decor, if it's arts, we were talking about earlier, legacy and whatnot. It's been brought to my attention. For those that are from up north, my dad is he's deceased now, rest in peace, a year and a half ago. But he had developed Joe D Entertainment. He promoted for Tito Nieves, which was like a best friend to my father,
Famous, yes.
India,
Yes.
Mark Anthony, J-Lo,
Wow.
you name it. So that is something that has been inkling on doing that legacy and actually bringing it just like that, Joe D Entertainment, the legacy. So it's a lot. And the reason why that happened is because recently I was in conversation with one of them and they said, well, why don't you do the same thing? So, and then with Janie, we have talked about partnering in some of the different
venues
Yeah.
that we've got some things coming up.
But we can't disclose just yet. A lot of greatness is coming.
Yes.
It really is. It's more than, I think I specialize in letting people know and understand what their greatest asset is. Because if I turn to you and I ask you, what's your biggest asset? What would your response be?
For me, it's life. It's life.
Exactly.
It's what
So you
we-
answer right. But what I find is people say, instead of saying my life, obviously for life insurance,
They use an object
exactly,
Yeah.
my home or this
my
or that.
home,
Well,
yes.
none of that exists if you
didn't-
yeah, exactly.
exactly.
And if you don't have yourself insured or secured the right way, you're not going to be able to do it for others, when you're absent. You're just going to leave nothing but, you know.
And I love what you said. You mentioned something about you had mentioned about you work with people you like, and I feel like lately, or who you connect with.
Well, hold up, Ruth.
Okay, hold
Hold up.
Okay, tell me.
Earlier you said I was too much for you.
But hold on. Yeah, but that wasn't a bit.
Because I made you
in a
look in
good
the
way.
mirror.
Hold on. I know, but hold up. Now you hold up, Janie.
Hold up, Ruth.
But you know what's funny is that I really believe that God puts people in your path
does.
that you can really, they challenge you to be the better version of you. And you talked about that earlier today.
Yeah.
And then I meet Maritza, and I'm like, why do I like this lady? She's like
'Cause she's like you.
like the lioness part of me that I need to come out more. I don't know what
Yeah.
it is, but it's a very confidence, and
Yeah.
I feel like that's still, and realistically, it's why the arts for us is like something that, because we all have an artistic side,
Yeah, yeah.
and we all have to eventually find our niche. Well, what's our niche? It's promote who you are.
Yeah. It's branding.
All my life I had to be like this perfect little child, and I was like rebellious. My parents were like in ministry, and I'm the one that
Oh, you're a
peers my
PK kid.
Yes, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't want to say that on them because they were diáconos,
Yeah.
and my dad's like,
Yeah.
mija, pórtate bien, mija, esos shorts, and I'm like, what do you want me to do, Dad? Like,
Yeah.
am I going to be like, cut my hair off, dyed it hot pink and blue, pierce my own nose, my belly button? I'm like, this is who I am.
You know what I think is interesting is that they were really strict. Like my mom was really strict with me. My brothers were very strict. My brother, if I wore shorts, like this was back in the 70s. Yeah, you weren't born then. I don't, yeah. No.
Born in 92.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
I
you
was
were
born in the
then.
70s,
So
Janie.
this was in the 70s, 80s when I'm in school, and I was like super thin, so I really didn't like shorts. But when I wore shorts, you can't wear. But their kids can wear these little bitty things that I'm like, dude, where's your?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
But I do come from a family that we have businesses, but they also work. My brother retired from law enforcement. He was in the military, and he's a veteran, but he retired after 37, 38 years in law enforcement. And his daughter is following his footsteps. She's a juvenile probation officer.
Love it.
And so we have that. And then I have my other brother that had his own business. My sister's a realtor. So my mom, even though we didn't realize it at the time, she was paving the way for us to be who we are today as a single mom, And for me, it's like, if she can do it, and I'm from the barrio, like I'm from the hood of West Texas. When you go to West Texas, everybody says, Oak Cliff. No, baby. No. West Texas. If you're from the barrio in West Texas, yeah. And if you've made it from there,
Yeah.
I'm probably the one least likely to succeed. I'm from the barrio. People never imagine you're traveling the world. You're going here. You're doing this. You're with this. I've been with a lot of important people, but that doesn't matter to me. I know that God can step me into a room I'm with mayors, dignitaries, everyone, you know. He's placed me in higher positions. But
amen.
I'd rather be where I am and mentor women such as yourselves, such as other women that have never thought that coming from the barrio, that they can be somebody.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you, I am somebody.
Amen.
And
Awesome.
I know that every day I
Yes.
wake up and I thank God. I
Yes.
thank God because one, I'm alive. Two, He got me out of where I come from, because it's very easy for us to let it go to our head and forget where we come from.
Yeah.
But every day I drive home and I thank God for blessing me with my home, for blessing me with my car. And I drive up and I live in a modest home. Everybody says, oh, no, it's not. But it's very modest for me because as a real estate broker, I could live anywhere. But I love my peace.
Yeah.
And if you walk into my house, you're going to feel peace. That's what I love.
Yeah.
That's a mansion right there.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
That is true.
So it doesn't matter where I live, it's where my peace is. And
Yes.
God reigns in my house. Even my puppies, you know,
Ay, Cocueno.
I am not a puppy person. Now I have 2 Frenchies.
And they're so
let
cute.
it
And
be
they're so
known.
cute.
She always said no. She would never have dogs. I've always had dogs.
I'm like,
and even when she
no,
would, yeah.
no quiero el pelo, no quiero.
I know, yo también. Yo tengo gato y pug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're spoiled brats. And I'm like, I don't like you,
So
but then they're coming.
in my business, the Frenchie is, I got the Frenchies before. I own 2 franchises, real estate franchises, one with my sister. So we're partners. But the Frenchie is the mascot.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
this was before I got into the franchise. So I enjoy helping people. Let's find out, like, if I don't know you, God gives me discernment and I know where you're going.
Yeah.
I
You
know
need
if I
to let
need
me
to
know.
be around you or if I don't need to be
Right,
around
Yes.
That's
yes.
good.
That's
That's
good.
good.
you. And sometimes
That's wisdom, y'all.
I even tell my assistant, no, if you're going to be hanging out with them, you need to go get clean because I don't need that around me. Or you can't be around me
Yeah.
So true.
because I don't play games.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
she means that. You
And-
just
No.
met her today in person, but I've known her for 22 years.
I mean it.
Ah,
And,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
she
Gotta
helped
go
me
back.
with my first house. She helped me with the second house. And who knows how many more.
But
to
we've
come.
become like family because
Yes.
it's all about, I want to know who you are.
Yes.
And that's
yes.
where we're
I
at.
love
We're
that.
talking about
Yeah.
branding, right? And it's like you said it right now. You went with the first house. Probably y'all didn't know each other that much, but now the second one, you were like, "No, this is my girl."
Girl, she
I
went
don't
and
care
got
how
me
many
out of
relatives-
I was getting into my car.
So you know how I actually met Janie was very funny because we went to the same hairdresser, and we were at the hair salon.
Exactly.
And I see this beautiful woman because if you see, she's beautiful now. When she was,
We're in my 30s, man.
yeah.
Well, she's even more beautiful
She
now.
she was, yeah, exactly. So I see her and I'm like thinking she's just
Vibrant,
wow, right?
yes.
And when she's fixing to leave, I asked the hairdresser. I said, "Who's that woman?" I knew she had to be somebody. I just knew. And
Yes.
she said, "Oh, she does something with houses. She lends money or something." I said, "Really?" I got up from the chair and I literally chased her out the door and I grabbed her by the arm. She's looking at me like,
What are you touching me?
and
Not the
it
Puerto
was-
Rican accent.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Let it
Yeah.
be known.
Yes.
Y después la otra del Valle. Ay,
yeah.
no.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's, we talk
the
about
rest
it's
was
like the energy,
history.
yes, and it's
Yeah.
like that energy, and I feel like I have to add to that because same thing. And I, when we lost touch because I was going through my transition, and had to get back into the business, and going through my separation and COVID, it was just a mess. I got back in also into business with realtors and coaching and business. I was like, I need to call this woman again. I was like, Janie, who?
She kept calling me. I'm like, what does she want? She's been no, just kidding. She's been ignoring.
And finally,
kidding.
Janie, pick up your phone. I know you're there.
She left me a message. She said, Janie, call me back. I'm like,
And
con
you know-
taco?
But it's like you always remember those people, and I feel
Yeah.
like I said, let's go back to the business aspect. God will always bring the people together. It's that team.
Yeah.
You have to have a great team.
You have to have a
and He
team.
will prune
You have
people
to.
that don't belong there. He'll be like, nope, take them
yeah.
out. This one in.
Yeah.
We'll
And
bring this
you
one.
either let them go though, like easy
Yes.
way, or God is gonna come strong and
Yes.
take them out. and then-
Tell me about
I've
it.
had
Yes.
that. Ruth
Yes.
was around when I had a whole
Yes.
team that I mentored. They were rising up. This team, like, stabbed me in the back, and God kept telling me. He kept telling me
Red flags.
And I shared that with her. Like, I
He
felt it
did.
because I'm a very energy.
Yeah.
I have a very strong intuition.
Yeah.
And I.
And
my God.
normally I have
No, it's more like
I normally have that discernment.
Yeah.
But because, like I said
It can
earlier,
be
I was grieving,
fogged.
so your feelings are all
Yeah.
over the place, and you think,
Yeah.
oh, these people have. No, they
No.
stole from me. They did a lot. But I'm going to tell you one thing. You can't keep me down.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Because, girl, I'm going to get up again,
Yeah,
again,
we're gonna
and
get-
again,
yeah.
and again.
It's
Baba,
not how
hope
you
arriba,
fall,
baba.
it's how you get
It's
back
how you
up.
get
That's
back
how you get back
I
up.
have
Yes.
to share this now. So I pray every day, right? Like, I mean, me and God have to like talk things
Connect.
out because
You guys
sometimes
best
he be
friends too?
tripping and I'm like, look, you need to explain this to me. This ain't working out, right? And so I'm going to be very transparent. I don't have that many friends, and it's obviously,
okay.
like you can either relate or you
Yes.
can't, right? But I've been praying a lot because I haven't felt challenged, right? Like, I felt like I've achieved all these goals, and now I'm getting to the point that I have a full staff. I have a full payroll that's over $30,000. And I'm like, who do you talk to about these things, right?
Us right here.
Exactly.
Us.
So I'm
Yes.
like, God, I need women that know it, like have the experience, that understand what it is to work with a staff, what it is to work with, home life and yourself, and still keep yourself together. Because I see women that are complaining about life. I see women that are complaining about their business, but yet you prayed for it. And then I see women that are complaining about just life in general. Like, so there's no challenge that I'm going for or to seek for. So please place me in a presence of someone that will challenge me. And this is what I got. So when you're beginning, it's competition left and right. Todas, I mean, parecen como gatas, like just scratching one another, knocking each other down and whatnot. But then you reach a certain level, and they say that the successful will always try to mentor and try to give, the wisdom that they
Yes.
have.
Yes.
Because they want you to build.
Right.
Because if you build,
Yeah.
guess what? Then that will build them more.
Yeah.
Yes.
If
Right?
you build it, it'll come.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And you can't build an empire by yourself, and we know that. But, thank you so much, ladies, because that just filled me with joy. So, like
Yes.
us, and I'll be like, oh my God, get it together for that.
Yeah.
But, it's just beautiful how God works.
Yes.
So.
And always prayer, like I said, is sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
Do you want to go?
I mean, no, I was gonna say it's good that you found yourself at quote unquote a crossroad where you wanted to be challenged, and you're gonna continue. Because, for example, going back to 80s, y'all were talking earlier, my mother owned one of the most famous gyms that ever took place in Puerto Rico. She started in late 70s with Jack LaLanne in New York. She went to high school with Luke Ferrigno.
Wow.
And it took place, but she went to Puerto Rico and opened Leg Women's Gym. She had doctors from around the island sending her people, women who couldn't have kids, got developed their uterus to be able to have kids, and all kinds of stuff. She got to like a point where she didn't know what else to do because she had
Wow.
reached everything, and out of nowhere one day, instead of seeking and looking for, and I'm not knocking you down, Mom, I'm just saying it's an example, she decided that was it. She was done. She sold all the equipment of the gym. She sold everything, and decided to take a different route in life. So I commend you for doing that, because sometimes you need to be able to understand where you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you have a passion for it, understand what it is, and continue molding.
Yes.
Because as a business owner or someone in business, you're clay. You're
Yes.
constantly molded. If you
Yeah.
cannot allow yourself to be molded,
Yeah.
you're not allowing yourself
Yeah.
to be in
And
So
business.
I really appreciate you ladies. I mean, our time is coming up, and I really appreciate it. But remember, season 2. Let's see what our
Yes,
next topic
let's
is
talk-
going
yeah.
to be. To be
Just
able,
remember, think for
just
it.
remember. I really appreciate it because it's given me a lot to think about, and I really, even though I'm where I'm at, I love to learn from other women, and we're going to challenge you. We're
love
going to
it.
challenge you. And we're going to challenge you.
Yes.
And y'all challenge
you
me.
already?
We will.
Yeah, I do. But this is Girl Get Up Again.
it.
And I am so excited that you have to stay tuned for the next episode. Stay tuned for the next season also, because it's not it. We're starting. This is a movement. It's a movement for girl, get up again. Get up as many times as you need to. I've done it. You can do it too. See you next time.